Product overview. Neue Schule Dressage Legal Snaffles.
Here we have a good representation of the Neue Schule Dressage Legal Snaffles. They're also available with slimmer and thicker mouthpieces, and they're available with smaller rings. All of our mouthpieces are made up in the Celox Gold, which does possess extremely high thermal conductivity, and it is designed to very much back up the intention of the bit by contributing towards very happy, relaxed acceptance, and that's what we need for dressage. In fact, really, that's what we need. That's our aim when we're bitting any horse. The comfort has to be paramount. It's very difficult to actually put these in any order of control because, as I say, dressage legal snaffles are designed for comfort and for communication and to establish a soft, happy, consistent contact. But basically what I'm going to do is to touch on the various benefits of each individual one, and you may identify with certain training issues that you're going through at the moment, and you can probably identify yourself with this brief overview which ones you would like to click on and actually view view the sort of information in much more entirety. Here we have the starter, and it is very good to actually introduce the bit because it is very, very comfortable, and it does encourage the horse to stretch the top line and seek forwards and down, and that and our forwards movement are the two most important things to establish. In fact, before we have established that, we really can't move on. But there we have the starter. It is dressage legal. Here we have the team up, and the team up has a universal curvature, and it has an extremely broad application. It's a very, very comfortable, very uncomplicated mouthpiece, and it does particularly suit the thoroughbred mouth conformation. Here we have the Neue Schule angled trans-lozenge mouthpiece, again in the very warm Celox Gold. It does have an arrow on the left-hand side, and it should be positioned in the horse's mouth with this arrow actually on the left-hand side, on the near side, because the lozenge is slightly tilted, and so if you actually get it in the horse's mouth the wrong way around, the lozenge won't be laying as it's designed to do, actually over the tongue. When you take up a contact, the lozenge will ever so subtly connect with the centre of the tongue, and this is what does give you a little bit more of an advantage in the way of communication. The Neue Schule angled trans lozenge. Here we have the Neue Schule Demi-Yankee, and it is very clever. It's a very, very clever design. It's eradicated all of the inherent design issues with the straight-armed single joint. We haven't got that nutcracker action. We're not squeezing the outer edges of the tongue. We actually have created a space for the tongue. So it does have a very broad application. It is very, very comfortable. If people are in a single joint and they're generally happy with the horse's response, it may be that you're having a little bit of resistance in downward transitions, and that can be the nutcracker effect of the straight arm single joint. So just to soften the feel, the Demi-Yankee can be particularly useful. This is the Neue Schule Trans Angled Lozenge mouthpiece in the egg butt cheek, and it's particularly good for horses that are a little bit tentative, whether it's a confidence thing or whatever, but they're backing off the rein, and we want to encourage them to lengthen the neck and stretch and take the rein forwards. It's also particularly useful if a rider isn't sufficiently adept to very quickly support their inside rein, because with the extra bulk that we have here, we also have stability, and the bit won't travel back and forth across the mouth as the rider is turning. So it is very useful, and horses tend to block in an egg butt, but with the Neue Schule Angle Trans Lozenge, you do actually encourage the contact, but they tend not to fix as well. There we have it, the Neue Schule Trans Angle Lozenge egg butt. Here we have the Neue Schule Trans Angled Lozenge mouthpiece in the full cheek, and this is particularly useful to emphasize the turning aids, and it's useful also for a dressage test in order to ride a little bit more accurately, in order to be able to actually set the bend up very quickly for serpentines or what have you. It has a very mild mouthpiece, so the other application would be for faster work, such as shore jumping, staying with a mild mouthpiece but still being able to turn effectively. And this lozenge isn't going to travel back and forth, it's going to remain as it is designed to actually sit centrally on the tongue. And there we have it, the Neue Schule Trans Angled Lozenge full cheek. Here we have the Neue Schule Trans Angled Lozenge mouthpiece in the Borsche cheek. And if you need a little bit more help in order to promote a round outline, then this actually could be very, very beneficial. You do get a little bit of poll pressure as you actually, employ the rein. This will lift and turn slightly, and simultaneously you'll receive the poll pressure and the mouthpiece will lift up in the mouth. So it does have a lot of comfort to offer as well, because the mouthpiece is suspended. We've actually taken the weight off the floor of the mouth. But this generally helps to be a little bit concise. It generally helps to obtain the round outline and bring the horse's nose in. The Neue Schule Angled Trans Lozenge Borsche. This is the Neue Schule Trans Angled Lozenge Verbindend, and we generally just refer to it as the Verbindend. It's very, very clever. We couldn't have created this shape without CAD. It's in the Celox Gold, and if you need more lift from the shoulder in order to obtain more throughness, then this really, 9 times out of 10, this does exactly what it says on the tin. It's one of our newer designs to the range, but it has fast become, I would say, possibly our most popular design. And if you're not quite ready for doubles and you're looking for an intermediate bit, then this is the one to consider. But it's a very, very comfortable mouthpiece. The shape helps with turning as well, so it does actually offer you a lot more help than ordinary snaffles, and it will give you just a little bit more control, but without setting up any lines of resistance. There we have the Neue Schule Verbindend.
For further product information, please visit your local authorised Neue Schule retailer. Details of stockists are available on the Neue Schule website at www.nsbits.com/stockists.